Christmas University Challenge. Asking the questions, Jeremy Paxman.
Hello, two of Oxford University's oldest colleges go head-to-head tonight in the second semi-final of this year's alumni series. They qualified from the heats with identical margins of victory and only a 5-point difference in their winning scores. But whoever has the edge tonight will join the University of Hull in the series final. The team from Balliol College got off to a slow start in their heat, but were fortunate that their opponents from SOAS made little of their early bonuses. By contrast, Balliol breezed through sets on football, astrophysics and the Winter War, stumbling only on types of horn. Returning to represent the college tonight are the CEO of the Rhodes Trust and Warden of Rhodes House in Oxford, the Chief Executive of Humanists UK, a crime writer who's currently president of the Detection Club, and a professor of political philosophy. Let's meet them for the second time.
Hello, I'm Elizabeth Quiche. I studied philosophy at Balliol College, Oxford in the 1980s and earned a BPhil and a DPhil.
Hello, I'm Andrew Copson. I read classics and then ancient and modern history at Balliol and graduated in 2004.
This is their captain.
Hello, I'm Martin Edwards. I read law at Balliol in the 70s and now I'm a crime writer.
Hi, and I'm Martin O'Neill. I read philosophy, politics and economics at Balliol in the 1990s.
Now, in their first match, the Exeter team raced to an early lead against 4 alumni of Queen Mary University, London, thanks to impressive knowledge of French geography and Italian painters. They generously let their opponents back into the match by failing to recognise Irving Berlin, but sealed victory with quick buzzers on Vladimir Lenin and the Red Shoes. The team is unchanged and comprises a historian of East Central Europe, an investigative reporter and correspondent, one of the main presenters of BBC News, and the current CEO of the British Olympic Association and chair of the Lancashire Cricket Club. Let's meet them again.
Hi, I'm Alexander Watson. I studied modern history at Exeter College between 1997 and 2000.
Hello, I'm Sancha Berg. I studied English language and literature at Exeter College, Oxford in the 1980s.
And their captain?
Hello, I'm Rita Chakrabarti and I did English and French at Exeter and I graduated in 1988.
Hi, I'm Andy Anson. I read mathematics at Exeter College in the 1980s, graduating in 1986.
Well, the rules should hold no surprises for you. So let's just get on with it. Fingers on the buzzers. Here's your first starter for 10. A few hours before he achieved a surprise victory over Hessian troops at Trenton, George Washington, on Christmas night 1776, led his army across which icy river? A feat...
Balliol O'Neill.
The Potomac?
No. You lose 5 points. A feat later commemorated in a painting by Emanuel Leutz. The river gives its name to a US state.
Exeter Berg.
Delaware?
Delaware River is correct. These bonuses are on early fantasy novels. In each case, give the title from the description. Firstly, a novel by Edgar Rice Burroughs, originally serialised in 1918. It tells the story of an American who, along with British and German sailors, becomes stranded on Caprona, an island inhabited by dinosaurs and Neanderthals. I need a 5-word title.
I think it's The Land That Time Forgot, isn't it?
I nominate Berg.
The Land That Time Forgot.
Correct. Secondly, a German language novel by Gustav Meyrink, originally serialised between 1913 and 1914 and centring on a jeweller in Prague. The titular mythical being, drawn from Jewish folklore, is an animated clay figure who represents the spirit of the community.
That's the Golem, isn't it?
Yeah, the Golem.
Yeah.
Nominate Berg.
Golem?
The Golem is correct. And finally, a children's novel by E. Nesbit, originally serialised in 1902 under the title The Samiad or The Gifts. The plot concerns siblings who discover a sand fairy and ask it to grant them wishes, with increasingly disastrous consequences.
5 children in it.
Correct. 10 points for this. According to a biography by Saint Bonaventure, which saint staged what is widely regarded as the first nativity scene in 1223 in the Italian village of Greccio?
Exeter Watson.
St Francis of Assisi.
Correct. Right, these bonuses are on cold puddings. Etymologically related to a word for a type of igneous rock, what Italian term is used for a flavoured slush or water ice similar to sorbet?
Granita?
Granita is correct. Secondly, derived from a word meaning foam and popularised in North America, what Italian term is used for a multi-layered moulded ice cream, typically served with candied fruits or nuts?
No, it's Tutti Frutti. Should we go with that? Tutti Frutti.
That's spumoni. And finally, what term for a light pudding made of chilled custard and cream is the Italian for half cold?
Semifreddo.
Correct. 10 points for this. Adjoined to the north by the Pamir and Kunlun mountain ranges, the Hindu Kush to the west, and to the south by the Himalayas, which mountain range contains 4 peaks over 8,000 metres in height, including the world's second highest, K2?
Balliol O'Neill.
Karakorums?
Correct. Your bonuses are on subjects of the British sculptor John Edgar's Environment series, a set of terracotta busts of notable environmentalists. I want you to name each person from the description. Firstly, a British scientist who died in July 2022. Together with Lynn Margulis, he developed the controversial Gaia hypothesis, which proposes viewing the Earth as a single self-regulating organism.
It's James Lovelock. Yeah. Lovelock. I think it's Lovelock.
Lovelock.
James Lovelock is correct. Secondly, a British moral philosopher who died in 2018. Her books include Beast and Man, Animals and Why They Matter, and The Ethical Primate.
It is. I think it's. Is it Mary Midgley? It's Mary Midgley. Yeah.
Mary Midgley.
Mary Midgley is correct. Finally, a former leader of the Green Party of England and Wales, who in 2010 became the party's first elected MP.
Caroline Lucas. Yeah, Caroline Lucas.
Caroline Lucas.
Caroline Lucas is correct. We're going to take a picture round now. For your picture starter, you'll see the flag of a country where the largest Christian denomination celebrates Christmas according to the Julian calendar, meaning Christmas Day falls on the 7th of January. 10 points if you can name the country.
Balliol O'Neill.
Serbia.
Serbia is correct. Right, moving on from Serbia, you see 3 more flags of countries where the largest Christian denomination celebrates Christmas on the 7th of January. In each case, name the country for 5 points. Firstly?
What do we think?
Georgia.
I mean, it looks like Georgia, doesn't it? I wouldn't know.
Georgia.
Georgia is correct. Secondly, this?
Is it Montenegro, maybe?
Remember to...
Montenegro.
I mean, if he says Montenegro, we should go for it. I don't know.
Montenegro.
Correct. And finally, this country where the calendar is similar but not identical to the Julian calendar, but where Christmas Day is also celebrated on the 7th of January.
Wow.
Ethiopia?
Is that why there's this star?
Could be.
I think so.
Ethiopia.
It is. Well done. 10 points for this. The mathematician Pierre-Simon Laplace is said to have remarked that he is the master of us all, in reference to which 18th century mathematician, known for his eponymous identity relating 1, 0, E...
Exeter Anson.
Euler.
Euler is correct. Your bonuses are on trace elements that are required by the human body. In each case, identify the chemical element from the description. Firstly, found in leafy vegetables, nuts and whole grain cereals, a metal that is needed for activation of many enzymes, muscle and nerve function. It is used in explosive and pyrotechnic devices, and its hydroxide is used as an antacid.
We think it's magnesium.
Correct. Secondly, an essential constituent of thyroid hormones. Small quantities may be added to table salt to ensure adequate intake.
Iodine.
Iodine is correct. Essential for water and electrolyte balance and normal functioning of cells, a metal found in fruits, particularly bananas, vegetables, pulses, and milk. Its commercially produced compounds are mainly used as fertilizer.
Potassium.
Potassium is correct. 10 points for this. Which graphic novel by Marjan Satrapi shares its name with...
Balliol Cobson.
Persepolis.
Correct. These bonuses are on islands. Road Town is the capital of which British overseas territory located east of Puerto Rico? Charlotte Amalie is the capital of a US territory with a similar name.
British Virgin Islands.
Yeah.
British Virgin Islands.
That's correct. Georgetown is the largest port of Malaysia. It lies on which island in the Strait of Malacca?
Any ideas?
I don't. Do you? What's the first thing that you think of?
Johor Bahru.
If you can think of anything, I think.
Johor Bahru.
No, it's Penang. Home to a 1714 Anglican church, now a cathedral, Spanish Town in Middlesex County is a former capital of which island country?
Is it Jamaica?
Spanish Town.
I don't think it's.
Is it Middlesex? It's not.
Not Puerto Rico. Former
No,
capital.
no.
Could be.
It's former capital.
Yeah, it could be
Jamaica.
Jamaica or Barbados.
Well,
I
Jamaica.
don't
Choose
think it's
one, maybe.
Barbados.
Just
Choose Jamaica. then.
Jamaica.
Jamaica is correct. Well done. 10 points for this. What enterprise opened in 1844 in Toad Lane, Rochdale?
Exeter Anson.
The Co-op.
Correct. Your bonuses are on syndromes named after literary characters. In each case, identify the syndrome from the description. Firstly, named after the title character of an 1890 novel, a body dysmorphic disorder where sufferers have an obsessive preoccupation with physical attractiveness and a desire to delay the aging process.
What's the Oscar Wilde novel? Dorian Gray. Dorian Gray, is there a syndrome? Is there a syndrome?
I don't know. But worth a try.
Dorian Gray?
Dorian Gray is correct. Factitious disorder imposed on the self is an alternative name for which psychological disorder named after a fictional character who told exaggerated stories about his exploits?
Munchausen. Munchausen. Baron Munchausen.
Munchausen.
Munchausen syndrome is correct. Named after a Shakespearean character, a dangerous form of psychosis wherein there is a delusional belief in the infidelity of a spouse.
That's Othello. It's Iago, is it?
Iago?
Mostly Othello syndrome. 10 points for this. Described by Bertrand Russell as perhaps the most perfect example I have ever known of genius, which philosopher wrote the...
Balliol O'Neill.
Wittgenstein.
Correct. Right, these bonuses are on current European monarchies. Originally Genoese, the House of Grimaldi rules which country? The dynasty came to power in 1297 and still resides in the Prince's Palace.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go for it.
Monaco.
Monaco is correct. The House of Bernadotte has reigned consistently in which country since 1818, after the childless King Charles XIII adopted one of Napoleon's marshals?
Is it Sweden? Sweden.
Is it? That is a Napoleon one. Yeah.
Sweden.
Sweden is correct. Which country's monarch is a member of the House of Bourbon-Anjou?
It sounds like it could be any of them. Bourbon, Anjou.
Netherlands.
No, I don't. Is it? I don't know. What house is the
Come on, let's have it, please.
What house is the
Netherlands.
Spanish-
No, it is Spain. We're going to take a music round now. For your music starter, you're going to hear a piece of classical music. 10 points, simply name the composer.
Exeter Chakrabarti.
J.S. Bach?
It is J.S. Bach. You just heard the opening of the Well-Tempered Clavier by J.S. Bach, a collection that marked its 300th anniversary in 2022. Your music bonuses are 3 more well-known works of the 1720s, with 5 points for each composer you can name. Firstly,
Haydn.
No, that's by Telemann. And secondly,
We don't know.
it's Handel. And finally, who's this?
This is Vivaldi.
It is Vivaldi, well done. 10 points for this. What seasonal foodstuff appears in the name of a military deception operation of 1943 that aimed to...
Exeter Watson.
Mincemeat.
Mincemeat is correct. You get a set of bonuses on philosophy in 1972. Based on a series of lectures delivered from 1972, The Central Questions of Philosophy is a work by which British philosopher, the author of Language, Truth and Logic?
Alex.
Was it 20th century?
Yes.
Was it Bertrand Russell?
1972. Sure.
Oh, no, sorry, 1972. I'm sorry. No, no.
I know this.
AJ Air.
Come on.
I don't know.
A.J. Ayer.
A.J. Ayer is correct. Freddie Ayer. Well done. A leading exponent of deconstruction, which French thinker analysed Hegel, Husserl and Heidegger in the 1972 work The Margins of Philosophy?
Jacques Derrida.
It was Jacques Derrida. Born in Melbourne, whose early works include the 1972 paper Famine, Affluence and Morality. He later wrote The Life You Can Save and Animal Liberation.
No, I don't know.
No, we don't know.
That was Pete Singer. 10 points for this. I need a forename and surname here. What name links an American blues musician with the nickname Mississippi and an English actor born in 1940 whose notable performances include Kane in Alien and the title role in The Elephant Man?
Balliol O'Neill.
John Hurt.
John Hurt is correct. Well done. You get a set of bonuses on coup d'etat, in the plural. Of Swiss origin, what short word is used of an attempt, usually abortive, to overthrow a government by force? Examples include those of Kapp in Berlin in 1920 and by Hitler in Munich in 1923.
Putsch.
Putsch is correct. The somewhat euphemistic term incident is used of the attempted coup by radical junior officers of the Imperial Way faction in which country on February the 26th, 1936?
Incident. Spain, would it be? Spain, 36?
Yeah, try.
Spain.
No, it's Japan. The expression palace coup denotes a takeover, often bloodless, by a faction within a ruling group. It has been used, for example, of the replacement of Khrushchev by which Soviet leader in 1964?
Is that Brezhnev?
Brezhnev.
Brezhnev.
Brezhnev is correct. 10 points for this. In 1885, the US photographer Wilson Alwyn Bentley became the first known person to take detailed photographs of which meteorological phenomenon? Describing them as tiny miracles of beauty, he was able to use these photographs to argue that no two individual instances...
Balliol Copson.
Snowflakes.
Snowflakes are correct. These bonuses are on common words with specific meanings in mathematics. Give each answer from the mathematical definition. All three answers are 3 letters long. First, the symbol used to denote the union of sets. The name of the symbol refers to its shape.
Snowflake.
Three letters.
3 letters.
Just 3 letters. So.
Union of sets.
It would be like a.
Gosh.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't.
Pass.
There's a cup. Second, any portion of the circumference of a circle other than the entire curve, a semicircle being a special case. The word is also used as a prefix to denote the inverse functions of the trigonometric and hyperbolic functions.
Is it cos? Cos?
Cos is a maths word.
Try it.
Right.
Cos.
It's arc. Finally, an adjective used to refer to any integer of the form n equals 2 k plus 1, where k is also an integer?
I don't even understand the question.
Big.
No, it's odd. 10 points for this. In 1886, the publisher Ward Lock paid the struggling young author Arthur Conan Doyle £25 for the rights to which story?
Balliol O'Neill.
Sherlock Holmes?
No, you lose 5 points. For the rights to which story published a year later in Beaton's Christmas Annual? The story introduced the characters of Sherlock Holmes and John Watson.
Exeter Berg.
The Hound of the Baskervilles.
That was A Study in Scarlet. We're going to take a picture round now. For your picture starter, you're going to see a picture of a decorative object. 10 points if you can name the company that produced it.
Balliol O'Neill.
Tiffany.
Tiffany is correct. Well done. Your picture starter was a Tiffany lamp which makes significant use of stained glass. The UN declared 2022 the International Year of Glass. So for your picture bonuses, 3 more uses of glass in art, design and architecture. First, can you name the designer of this object?
Is it Lalique? Lalique?
Are we just going to keep trying Lalique because it's the only one we know for glass?
Lalique.
Lalique is correct.
Well done. Well done.
Secondly, name the architect of this building.
Is that Mies van der Rohe?
If you've got an idea.
Nominate Quiche.
Mies van der Rohe?
Correct.
Good work.
Finally, name the artist who designed this window.
Is that Morris?
Is it Matisse? It looks like
Matisse?
I don't know.
Matisse.
Matisse is correct. Well done. Right, 10 points for this. Depicting the model known as Kiki de Montparnasse holding an African sculpture, Noir et Blanche, is a work of 1926 by which US photographer associated with the Dada and Surrealist movements?
Balliol O'Neill.
Man Ray?
Man Ray is correct. Well done. These bonuses are on books. Beyond, a 2021 work by Stephen Walker, concerns which Soviet citizen and his pioneering voyage of April the 12th, 1961?
Yuri Gagarin.
Gagarin.
Yuri Gagarin.
Correct. Alluding to both cricket and social questions, what single word completes the title of a 1963 work on cricket by the Trinidadian author C.L.R. James, Beyond a what?
Boundary.
Boundary is correct. And finally, a professional psychic and medium is a central figure of Beyond Black, a 2005 novel by which British author who later became the first woman to win the Booker Prize more than once?
Author of Wolf Hall, what's her name?
Hilary Mantel.
Hilary Mantel.
Hilary Mantel is correct. 10 points for this. His performance at 12 years old compared favourably by Goethe with that of Mozart at a young age. Which German romantic composer went on to write symphonies known as the Italian, Scottish and Reformation?
Balliol Edwards.
Salieri.
No. Anyone want to buzz from Exeter?
Exeter Chakrabarti.
Beethoven.
No, it was Mendelssohn. 10 points for this. What 2 letters begin Latin words meaning to speak falsely, to fear, to deserve, the mind and table?
Balliol O'Neill.
M.E.?
M.E. is correct. Your bonuses are on medicine. In each case, I need the dictionary spelling of the word provided. Firstly, catarrh, the inflammation of a mucous membrane associated with a seasonal cold.
C-A-T-A-R-R-H.
Correct. Secondly, coryza, an alternative term for the nasal discharge as a symptom of a cold.
C-O-R-Y-Z-A.
Correct. And finally, rheum, another word used for a mucus secretion or a common cold more generally.
R-H-E-U-M.
Correct. Here's another starter question. In March 2022, 100 years to the day since its most famous occupant was buried on South Georgia, the wreck of which ship was discovered at the bottom of the Weddell Sea?
Balliol O'Neill.
The Endurance?
The Endurance is correct. Well done. 3 questions on works by the sculptor Claes Oldenburg. A 6-metre replica of what cosmetic item is presented ascending on caterpillar tracks in Oldenburg's first major public work of art, installed in Morse College courtyard at Yale?
I think it's do you think it's lipstick? Lipstick.
Lipstick.
Correct. One of many works created with his wife Kushir van Bruggen, Oldenburg's Spoon Bridge in Minneapolis depicts what stone fruit balanced on the spoon's bowl? Water is emitted from the tip and base of its stalk to keep it shiny.
Pineapple.
Do you think, is that no stone? Stone fruit. I think it's. I think it must either be a cherry or a peach. But what's more likely to be shiny? A cherry.
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 Cherry is correct. What food is depicted dropped on the roof of Cologne's Neumarkt Gallery in a 2001 work by Oldenburg and van Bruggen, measuring just over 12 metres from apex to base?
Apple. Apple. Apple.
No, it's an ice cream cone. 10 points for this. In May of this year, the Event Horizon Telescope released the first images of Sagittarius A star, the black hole that sits at the centre of which galaxy?
Balliol O'Neill.
The Milky Way.
The Milky Way is correct. Your bonuses are on works by F. Scott Fitzgerald that were first published in 1922. Give the title of each work from the description. First, a novel whose main characters are the young couple Anthony and Gloria, who vow to reject work and social responsibility and instead adhere to the magnificent attitude of not giving a damn.
Do you think you know?
A diamond is as big as the Ritz.
Do it. Yeah.
The last tycoon.
No, it's The Beautiful and Damned.
Oh, beautiful.
Secondly, a novella that tells the story of small-town teenager John T. Unger, who is sent to an exclusive boarding school. He is invited to the... And at the wrong, Exeter College Oxford have 125, but Balliol College Oxford have 215. Bad luck, Exeter. You were a very good team and you did lead for much of the competition. But we're going to have to say goodbye to you, I'm afraid. 215 Balliol is a great score. Well done. We'll look forward to seeing you in the final. Thank you very much for joining us, both of you. I hope you can join us next time for the final of this year's Christmas series. But until then, it's goodbye from Exeter College, Oxford.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
It's goodbye from Balliol College, Oxford.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.